UMAR, AHMED, IFLTV, MTK Global. Right, I've just heard you talking about Saudi, so we'll start off with that.
Yeah.
You've kind of addressed all their questions, sort of dampened their concerns, if you want to say, but there is this whole thing with Iran going on. Can you make a comment on that?
I mean, again, I don't think you or I are really up there on current affairs and news, but there was an incident, I believe, a couple of thousand miles away from where the event's being held in an oil rig. And again, nothing from the UK government, US government, obviously people that know a lot more than you and I do about not travelling there. So the bigger, you just part of that conversation with the US media was, how do we get there?
Like, they're really worried.
Yeah, no, you know, you and me were like, yeah, it's like Essex, really. Isn't it? But it's one of those things where, until you experience it, I just said there, trust me, you will fly into Saudi, and you will get in your car and you will go to the hotel, past the financial district. I mean, it's very, very similar to Dubai and other cities like that. You know, no different, and you'll see that when you go. So, I guess for these guys, it's obviously you read certain stuff. And
maybe being American as well.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, one of the ladies we were talking to there was like, "Oh, am I allowed to travel alone?" It's like, yeah, I know, but that's the perception. And obviously, you read things and so forth. So obviously, everyone wants to make sure they, follow the code or the rules of every country.
Everyone on Twitter is saying, when are the tickets going to go on sale for UK fans?
Sooner than you think. So there could be an announcement. I think there will be an announcement this week. There is a chance that tickets will go on sale late this weekend or even early next week. So be ready, get ready for the information. It's coming shortly.
Last one on Joshua. I know the whole talk has been just focused on Ruiz, which is rightly so. But he come out on Sky and said that he wants the Fury fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you guys got focused on Ruiz and that, but that is the fight that Joshua wants after Ruiz, isn't it?
I think he just wants to be in all the big fights. I mean, win or lose, the Fury fight remains massive.
Lose?
Yeah, of course, because look, Fury could lose. You live in such a crazy world where Wilder could fight Fury. Fury could lose, right? Joshua could lose to Ruiz. And then Fury fights Joshua in the biggest fight in the division. You know what I mean? It's just like, look at Joshua. He just lost, just got stopped. He's now in a fight 5 times bigger than he was in. So, it's of course you don't want to lose, and the aim is to win. I believe he will win, but that fight with Fury will always be a massive, massive fight whilst the guys are competing at the top level, If you start losing to lesser opponents and, getting old, and then the fight loses its appeal. But that fight's always going to be a monster fight. But hopefully Joshua beats Ruiz and Fury beats Wilder, and then they fight each other.
What's the harder fight, Wilder or Fury?
More dangerous fight is Wilder, trickier fight is Fury. If I'm choosing, I guess you fight Fury, because you can get tricked around, and but the Wilder fight is kind of like a coin flip, because it's whoever lands first.
Okay, moving away from that, obviously the big news today, well last night really, was Joseph Parker is ill, bitten by a spider.
That's what they think, yeah. So I got a message from David Higgins early hours of Tuesday morning. Yesterday.
What was he doing up in the early hours of Tuesday?
No, it was in New Zealand. Which was, I'm really sorry, but he's been ill and he's been trying to get through this. He's been trying to, get through this illness and this problem, and he can't. And he's going to have to pull out the fight. They think he's got a spider bite because he's had like sort of almost like blood poisoning, where he's struggled to get out of bed. And I spoke to him last night. He's gutted. And he wanted to fight so badly, he said, I just can't do it, I just can't train. So he's going to have 3 or 4 weeks off and, look for another fight.
So Taylor Prograis is the main event still.
As always, yeah. But we need to, obviously it's a pay-per-view event, and we've got to deliver a pay-per-view co-main event, which is what we had. So, it's not just a case of, don't worry about it, like if Chisora fights or not. We know we've got Burn Selby and a Cody and Gobby, but we need that big chief support event, and that's why we'll be coming up with a replacement for that fight in due course.
Why did you tweet that picture of Shannon-Briggs?
Just for banter. Just because.
But were you being half serious? If it got a good reaction?
It did get a good reaction. It got
some people were.
No, but it was like, the reaction was, fucking hell, yes, Shannon-Briggs, or Hearn, you're a disgrace. So, but he wouldn't get sanctioned. He probably want about $5 million, that's why he ain't fought for 4 years. But I just like winding people up, and it just drove people mad, and it just, it just made me giggle, you know.
Okay, Otto Wallin was in the list that you put out. Now, that's someone you criticised quite a lot before the Fury fight. So why have you put him in?
Because Fury is a lineal world champion, supposed to be the best heavyweight in the world, and Derek Chisora's got 9 losses.
But the winner of Chisora-Parker was in line for a world title shot.
Who says what?
Huh?
Says who?
No, but you would think. That's what you were saying before, weren't you?
Yeah, but you got a guy who's just given Tyson Fury a life and death fight, and then you want to put him in with Derek Chisora, and you got no disrespect
He
to
did
Del
have
Boy.
2 massive cuts though. So.
Who?
Tyson.
Yeah, but so what? Like he scraped by Otto Wallin, whether you like it or not. So Derek Chisora, with all due respect to Derek Chisora, he's not the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. By the way, that fight's not going to happen because I can't give Derek Chisora another southpaw, otherwise he will kill me, and so will David Haye. So more likely are Povetkin, Hunter, Rivas even.
Jennings? Are you sparring at the moment?
Yeah, I think they're quite pally, but again, you know, we're under pressure to deliver a good fight. Is Jennings the guy? I don't, he lost convincingly to Joe Joyce, so maybe not.
I think the styles would be good though.
It'd be a war, but they're quite pally, aren't they? I think they spar a lot.
I'm not too sure. I know they spar. I don't know if they're mates.
I don't know. Good fight. Look, Chisora's not going to be in a bad fight. But I want a big fight, and we will make sure we get it. Hrgovic, Bacoli, Price, they're all top 15 guys.
Povetkin Hunter, what's the crack with that?
Well, it depends what happens with Del Boy, because Del Boy could fight either of those. So
but I thought that was kind of banked in for Saudi.
Not yet. I mean, it's a fight we want to make, and we're very close to making it. But if Povetkin fights Chisora, the Hunter fights off, and if Hunter fights Chisora, the Povetkin fights off. So I think the bigger problem with Povetkin is he's a very regimental guy who likes his 8-9 week camp, and although he's coming off a fight, whereas Hunter, he's bang ready all the time. So,
have you spoken to David Haye?
Yes, numerous times.
Is Del Boy kind of up for anything?
Yeah, but they want the right fight. They want to win. It's not just a case of throw me in for the money. Like, they believe they could beat Joseph Parker. They believe they can beat Alexander Povetkin. They believe they can beat other people, but they might not take a fight where he's not prepared for. It's not just about collecting a check. It's about trying to keep the momentum going off the back of a good win.
Manuel Char, perhaps?
Yeah, another guy in the mix. Yeah. Again, he's like, the reason Manuel Char hasn't boxed forever is because he just wants too much money. WBA regular title. Don't put the title on the line if you want. We'll just do the fight anyway and keep your title. It's not really a problem, but I would accept Char.
Okay, you talked about DAZN's upcoming schedule today. Fantastic schedule. You've kind of harped on about pay-per-views becoming dead in America. Apparently, Spence Porter did 300,000 buys on Fox.
Apparently, yeah, that was put out by someone on the inside from that side, but probably 200, 250, whatever. But we say that like that's a massive, monumental success. Like,
it's not bad.
Against what though? I mean, Canelo Golovkin did 1.1 million buys.
But they're superstars.
Floyd, but then, you can't champion 250 or 300,000 buys. It's solid enough, but on one stage you're saying, DAZN doesn't hit the numbers. Yet more people are watching DAZN's fights than are watching these superstars box on pay-per-view, right? So, is it a good thing that these supposed superstars are boxing to an audience of 250,000 people? It's the same argument in the UK, but unfortunately, Fox aren't paying the licence fees to generate that kind of money, so they have to do it on pay-per-view. But I just think, like, when you look at it, I mean, not being funny, we do pay-per-views 4 a year, 5 a year. It's £19.95, it's $25. Their pay-per-views are $80, $85, $90, sometimes $100. So you've just spent $80, $85 on Errol Spence, and coming up in a couple of weeks' time, you're spending another $80, $85 on Deontay Wilder against Luis Ortiz. DAZN is less than $9 a month, right? And you've got all those fights coming up. You've got Joshua Ruiz, you've got Canelo Kovalev, you've got Triple G, you've got Usyk next week, you've got the progress against Taylor. So for one pay-per-view, virtually you're getting a whole year subscription for DAZN. But if people want to keep spending $85 on one night of boxing, fucking good luck to the promoters. But I'll tell you what, if I even put my pay-per-view up in the UK by £1, I would just be stoned. Do you know what I mean?
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, but it's, so sometimes you've got to realise that I believe that we're delivering great value for money on a pay-per-view, and you know, I just think that over time, even in the UK, over time, I think that model will change, and it will be a streaming subscription model. You know, whether that's through Sky, whether that's with other platforms.
Do you think ESPN, Fox, other broadcasters in America might change their price point? Say $40 or...
What, on a pay-per-view?
Yeah.
I think that has to happen, and I think, you know, but the argument is they need to generate a certain amount of money, and if they halve the pay-per-view price, would they double the subscription price? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not, because people are used to spending that kind of money on a pay-per-view. It's not a shock to them. Like these people, they're not spending $80 and going, oh my God, I can't believe it's $80. They're the same people that are buying all the time. Just like on Sky, you've got those 250,000 subscribers on Sky who will say, I watch every pay-per-view. It's £19.95. I think from 6 till 11, it's a great night of boxing. Wallop. Right? Same over here. Oh, pay-per-view, yeah, what is it? Spence Sport? Yeah, I've seen that, yeah, I'll buy it. They're not moaning about the price because they're used to the price. It's when you change the price, will it have a big impact on the market? $40, double the subscribers? Probably not. So that's what you're up against.
Just back to Chisora, we are in October now. If you can't get a credible opponent, like all the names you mentioned, you probably will because there's so many, but if you can't, just say, would you consider taking that off pay-per-view?
Yes. If we can't get a real good chief support, I would consider that. Won't be easy, but we will, because there's enough people in the mix to make that happen. But I also know Progress Taylor is an incredible fight, like unification, Ring Magazine Championship, but it needs
fight, really.
a solid chief support.
Yeah.
And you've got Burn Selby, you've got Coley for European title, you've got Conor Benn, etc. But it still needs that solid chief support.
Who'll Conor be fighting?
He's fighting a guy to be announced tomorrow, I believe. He's defending his WBA international title.
With that welterweight division, Josh Kelly, mandatory for David Avanesian, who just smashed the Hearn in a rematch, round 1. Would he take that fight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking to Adam Booth. I mean, obviously they were due to fight before. It's a great fight. Josh has been a bit inactive since June the 1st. Will he want to go straight into that fight? That's over to Adam Booth and Josh Kelly. I don't think they have a fear of fighting anybody. They've moved very fast in their pro career so far. It's a good fight. It's a dangerous fight. It's one that I know Josh Kelly wants to silence people, and it's one that I'd love to put on.
Very, very tough fight. Say he does do it though and wins that European title, you could do him and Ben for that European, couldn't you, next year?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but if he beats Avanesian, really, he's right there.
World honours then?
Yeah. I think Avanesian's a world-class fighter, and he's obviously on a great run.
An issue hardcores have raised with this KSI Logan Paul, besides that they don't like it, is perhaps a safety element within the fight. Do you see where they're coming from?
Not really. I mean, they've had a fight already.
But no head guards.
They spar with no head guards.
Okay.
They know the risks. It's very dangerous.
Well, any fight is.
Yeah. And someone will. I've said before, there is no way, in my opinion, this fight goes 6 rounds. No way. They cannot absorb the punishment they absorbed in the first round with 10-ounce gloves on and no head guards. I'll be honest, it's part of the attraction. So it's going to be brutal and it's going to be exciting to watch. But again, fully licensed by one of the biggest commissions in the world.
All right, Edward, I think that's all. We'll have a catch up.
See you on Friday.
Yeah. Top man. Cheers.